Welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. I hope you had a good day in the market today. Portfolio did. Semi-good. So we're going to take a look at that today. Let's go ahead and go on over to our Yahoo Finance. You can see here we did have a pretty decent day in our portfolio. The market was down. Dow down 128 points. NASDAQ down 13, 14 points, and then the S&P was down. But as you can see here, they did get into the green a little bit on the NASDAQ and the S&P today, just a hair. The Dow was trying to get there, just couldn't quite get there, and then kind of sold off at the end of the day. But as far as our portfolio goes, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green out of the 7. Wanted to talk to you about the Novavax. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We sold it yesterday. Had a pretty strong morning today. If you'll see here, it did open green. It stayed green all day long. Actually got all the way up to 805, which was really good. So that was a good strong day. Had some volume on it today as well. I like the way it's acting. Now, I still have plenty of this in my portfolio, but in our portfolio that we've done, I've already sold those. We've made some decent money with Novavax in that portfolio so far. So we're going to wait for it to drop back down before we buy into it again, more than likely. But it did have a strong after hours. I'm not sure about the volume on the after hours. I haven't really looked at that. Not really worried about it. We'll see how it does tomorrow. It's had a pretty good few days here on low volume. As you can see the 5-day chart here. On low volume, it actually has done pretty good. Today it was a little bit over normal, so that's all good. That's a good sign. All the heavy volume was in the morning, as you can see here. All the heavy volume in the morning. That's when it got to one of its highest points. So I like what I'm seeing there. Looks like a good strong signal to me. Maybe there's some news going to come out here about this nano flu. Hopefully it's going to be some good news. If not, again, that's a dangerous spot to be in, but we're in it. But if it comes out bad news about the P3 test, then you can see that drop tremendously. So hope that doesn't happen. I'm not counting on it to happen because I've got plenty of shares. All right, so X was down a little bit today, down over 1.5 percentage and a half. 1%. That just can't seem to find a bottom. That's why I'm cost averaging on that one. I trust it, so that's why I'm still putting money in it, because I believe at some point, especially if they ever get this infrastructure bill going and talking about it and those kind of things, I think we'll be all right with that steel product. Pelletron had a pretty decent day today as well. If you take a look at that, it came up today, actually had a real good spike right there. Got up to as high as 30.25 today at some point, according to the day range here, 30.25. That was good. We probably could have sold there. Wasn't watching it when it did that, I guess. But I don't like to put orders out there to sell. You know, you can put these orders out to sell when you're not watching. And you know, if it gets there to sell, but I like to be watching when I've got my orders placed. So I wasn't watching it at the time, but that's okay. I'd like to get as much as we can out of this, and hopefully tomorrow will be a good day, and we can cash out of that one. And that would be 3 that we've cashed out on this week. Okay, so that would be all right if we could do that tomorrow. We'll be watching it too, because tomorrow's Friday. Is like I said, a lot of times people like to sell on Fridays and get their money out of the market. So we got to watch the market tomorrow as far as it being up or down. MPC was in the green today, pretty much green most of the day, as you can see here. I did have a little area of red there, and then it just kind of worked its way up towards the high end at the end of the day. EXAS was down. Actually, it was down pretty good. It was getting close to that buy range. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. That's one I want to get back into. You see it did get down to 91.61. I'm looking for 90 or 80 and 88 to 90, somewhere in there. Okay, so if it gets down there tomorrow, we may pick up some of that. Trying to see when the earnings date Earnings is already passed, so we don't have to worry about that. I don't like to buy anything near earnings, so we're going to avoid that. CLF's had a little bit of a green day today. That one's really above our buy range right now. I think we're not even close on that one, so I haven't been paying a lot of attention to it. ACB, this is the one we've been wanting to try to get back in on, but I've been wanting to see it catch a bottom. Okay. Also, the thought, I was thinking it was the Friday when the earnings was going to come out on this one, but it's actually came out today, I believe it was, or yesterday. I think it was today. But the earnings have been put out. They weren't good, but here's the thing: this thing jumped up this morning, pretty heavy volume. It got up here, as you can see, up to a high. I think it was 156, and it did sell off a little bit, but it did stay pretty steady towards the end of the day. And so I was wanting to try to get in on this one because it did stay green all day. That was a plus. They had the acting CEO on CNBC this morning. He was talking a little bit about the company, and he said something about it being going positive, profitable by their fiscal year, which starts in July, sometime in that fiscal year. So all that sounded pretty good to me. It didn't sound like they were going out of business or anything like that. So we're going to watch this one. I did pick some up at the end of the day. I had an order out there for 147, and it filled right at the close. As you can see, that's where it did close. It was trading between 148 and 149 towards the end of the day here, as you can see. And so I just put that order out there for 147, hoping we can get that. We can get a pop on that thing in the morning, and we'll sell it just as soon as we can. But I think the dust has settled on that one, so I don't feel so bad about that. As far as that goes, I feel pretty good about it. The markets today were, like I said, they were pretty good. I mean, they held up pretty good, considering they started out in the red and they worked their way up towards the top, and actually a couple of them went green, and then they got back down towards the lows towards the end of the day, which is, we can expect that. We've had a couple good days in the market, so we don't let that bother us. But let's go ahead and look at the after hours, what's going on there as far as our futures and everything. So let's take a look at that. Hang on just a second. Let me get to that screen for us. So we'll go over to our CNBC. As you can see here, let's go ahead and do a refresh on it, just make sure it's up to date. Nikkei is down 0.5%, it looks like. Shanghai up just a hair. Hong Kong's up a little bit too. So that, kind of mixture there, but nothing frightening there. So let's go ahead and look at our oil. Oil is down just a little bit. I think it was down just a hair today as well. Nothing really going on with oil. It's kind of holding its own. Pre-market for tomorrow, it looks like we've got all three in the green. And when I looked earlier, this was actually in the red. So it's actually, you can see it's very close to flat. So, but we may have a day that goes up and down. We see a little bit of green, a little bit of red tomorrow. Again, on Fridays, a lot of times on Fridays you'll see the market sell off towards the end of the day, especially because people don't like to have their money in the market. But that's kind of where we're at today. I'm looking to hopefully get rid of that ACB as soon as tomorrow. That'd be awesome if we could, get 3 or 4% out of it in a day. I'll take that. As well as the Pelotron. We've had it for a week or so now, I think. So if we could get it, 3% on that one tomorrow or something, I'd get rid of either one of those. So that's what we're going to be looking at tomorrow. Appreciate everybody watching the videos, liking the videos, sharing them, and subscribing. Please continue to do that. And I will try to check in sometime this weekend. May not be able to tomorrow. Got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, and but possibly could. But for sure, I'll try to get back on here probably Saturday night. But have a great day. Have a great day of trading tomorrow, and we'll see you sometime this weekend. Thanks. Bye.